This presentation highlights the substantial changes proposed in the 2024 Draft Qualified Allocation Plan. The draft QAP was made available on August 11th of 2023. KHRC will hold a public hearing on September 5th of 2023. All comments on the draft QAP will be due to KHRC by close of business on September 18th, 2023. KHRC intends to release the final qualified allocation plan in October of 2023. In the Application Awards Schedule section, KHRC clarified the maximum number of projects for a principal to be 5 total developments. KHRC decreased 4% application rounds from 3 to 2. We eliminated the ability to pair home and trust fund with 4% applications. KHRC extended the closing deadline from 180 to 240 days for 4% new construction applications. KHRC added a 33-point threshold score for 9% applications to be invited to full application. And KHRC changed submission platform for the 9% preliminary round from email to Procorum. In the KHRC HUD Resources section, KHRC referenced Home or National Housing Trust Fund funds collectively as HUD resources. KHRC opened home funds to all applicants, but in the form of a loan for non-CHODOs. KHRC created the ability for us to determine appropriate HUD resources for proposals. In the KHRC fees section, we added a LURA amendment fee. In the 9% limits and set-aside section, KHRC created a maximum of 2 awards per application round. KHRC made it the possibility to award an additional project in a county if the demand of a unique opportunity warrants it. And KHRC provided clarification on supportive housing proposals. In the 4% LIHTC limits and set-aside section, KHRC made 2 rounds of $125 million each in private activity bonds. In the threshold eligibility section, KHRC clarified the applicant for the applicant experience threshold may be the applicant, developer, and/or consultant. KHRC redefined LIHTC management experience to having a satisfactory performance history. KHRC defined identity of interest. KHRC may have a third-party review or verification of actual cost. KHRC defined target populations. KHRC added an advertising requirement for accessible units, and KHRC added conversion to home ownership criteria. In the section Selection Criteria for Rehabilitation, KHRC made all rehabilitation applications competitive based on the KHRC priorities, and eliminated USDA rule development from priority list and prioritized re-syndications in year 22 and beyond. In the selection criteria new construction section, KHRC requires all applications must meet the 33-point threshold at preliminary application. KHRC eliminated past performance successful below market loans and support, below market loans and support, and conversion to home ownership from 4% scoring. KHRC updated applicants and principals' experience to previous experience. KHRC added the IRA to successful below market loans and support category. KHRC added the following to penalties: failed to follow Section 9A, requested additional funding after the 90 days prior to closing, and failed to submit a cost certification. KHRC clarified that one establishment can only qualify for 2 of the 3 primary amenities, and primary amenities will be 0.3 miles or further. KHRC added instructions for how one new construction rule application will be scored for primary amenities, updated secondary amenities list, and decreased points possible to 10. KHRC increased rural secondary amenity distance from 3 to 15 miles to 3 to 20 miles. KHRC altered scoring for below market loans. KHRC clarified that income targeting of 15% and 30% AMI must be additional units. And community rooms for senior housing with services must have a kitchen with a refrigerator and a sink. KHRC added Indian Housing Plan as a qualifying CRP. KHRC clarified scattered site properties will be scored based on the medium score for opportunity site points. KHRC added project-based rental assistance to deeper affordability 15-point category. And KHRC made new guidelines for conversion to home ownership. In the underwriting standards section, KHRC addressed no hard debt applications, updated utility allowance methods, updated developer fee to a scaled approach, and clarified approval needed for deferred developer fee reduction. In the post-award and compliance section, KHRC added the deadline of 120 days of the last certificate of occupancy or G704 for cost certification submission. In section Appendix E, KHRC made the qualified contract process a separate document outside of the QAP and added the conversion to home ownership plan requirements. KHRC welcomes public comments on the draft qualified allocation plan from all our stakeholders. Please submit all comments by September 18th at the close of business. To submit comments, send them to KHRC by email at housingdevelopment@kshousingcorp.org. A public hearing will be held virtually on September 5th. Registration is not required but encouraged. Please visit our QAP website page at kshousingcorp.org/qualified-allocation-plan for our final and redlined draft QAPs and public hearing registration.